Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I will be talking about all the books that I read in October, which was not that many because I don't have a really high goal for myself, but I read 5 books in October. 3 of those were mystery, thriller, and 2 were romance. And I feel like I'm kind of cheating with one of these books, but that's okay because it's my goal and I'm allowed. But I will get right into it. So the first book I read in October was, now I don't know the order that I read these books in, but I think it was this one. So that's what I'll talk about first. So this one is called Mother-Daughter Murder Night, and it's about this like mother and daughter, and then this other mother, like the mom's, like the grandma, there's a grandma, and then there's a mom and her daughter, but it's the mother's, anyway, you get it. It's about this like idyllic place in California where this mother and daughter live, and then the mom, the big mom, grandma, gets sick, so she moves in with her daughter. And then there's like a murder that happens. They find a body, and then they're trying to figure out who it is. And honestly, this was like, I was so excited about this one because it just sounded so good. Like I thought it was gonna be like a cozy murder mystery, and it kind of was, but not what I expected. And I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Like I felt like this was gonna be like a 4 or 5 star for me going into it. But then I read it and I was like, oh, I'm not enjoying it that much. I love the motherhood theme. I love that in books, but I just felt like the mystery, I was just bored. I didn't really care what was gonna happen. I didn't really care how that person died. And it felt a little too like loopy, like complex, but like not in a good way. Like it was just doing too much. But there was like a environmental kind of theme to the book, which was not bad, but I just felt like it overpowered the mystery. Like overall though, it was like fine. I gave it like 3 stars, I think. It was just a disappointment because I had such high expectations because I had heard about it so early on and I thought it was gonna be amazing, but I just didn't like it and other people might like it. But yeah, this was a 3 star for me. And honestly, Reese Witherspoon, not your best pick, but that's okay because I'm probably still gonna be reading books that she did pick. Just this one just has been a miss or hit. I don't know which one's the bad one, but it did not hit. Maybe it's a miss. Okay, that's this one. Next book I read was, I think this is the second book. I feel like that was the first one. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. It's called How Can I Help You by Laura Sims. And this is about these 2 women, or this one woman, her name is, I think it's Margot, but that's not her real name. And she gets this job at a library where she's like, you can't really trust her from the get-go. And you kind of unravel her story as the book goes along, but her real name is not Margot. And she seems crazy right off the bat. But this other woman starts to work at the library, and then Margot starts to become so invested in her life. But then the other woman also starts to become invested in her life. So it's like this cat and mouse game about like what's going on, like who's hiding what, you know, just madness. But Mona Awad also blurbed this book, so I was really excited about it. But I thought it was going to be like well, it was a literary thriller pretty much, but it did not thrill. It was entertaining. I loved like the back and forth between the characters and like her trying to figure out what's going on and like her trying to hide it, and like it was fun and everything. But I just felt like, I don't know, I was invested. I wanted it to be like more high stakes, you know, like more creepiness. Because if you're gonna like have a cover and call this book How Can I Help You, like it better like deliver. It just didn't deliver for me. The ending was like, it was good, but I didn't want it to end that way. Like it had one of those endings where it's like, oh, like this is fun. But I personally did not love that ending. But this was also a 3 star for me. Something about it. Anyways, 3 star. Next book I read is called The Whisper Man by Alex North. And this is my kind of spooky book for October that I picked up, and it is about this widower and his son who moved to this new city or town or wherever, and there's these murders that went on, I think, in the past, and then there's this whisper man person who's like whispering in your ear. I don't really know how to explain it, but there's death, there's a kid who goes missing, and then they just move to the new town, so they're like trying to figure out, I'm gonna say my water, but they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then this kid, he also has like an imaginary friend kind of person who's like telling him things. It's supposed to be like horror. I just did not find it scary. I did love the writing of this book. It is really fast-paced. It's like 350 pages, which is not that long, but I think that when there's a lot of text and thrillers, I just get bored really easily. But this one entertained. The writing is just, it's really easy to read. It's really easy to get through. I loved the father-son relationship. I feel like you don't get that a lot in books, especially thrillers. A lot of it is about motherhood, which is great. We love that. But I feel like single father, we don't really get a lot of representation in thrillers or just books in general. So I love that this one did that. The mystery, again, for me, like horror part, was entertaining, but I don't know why, what's going on. Like these past 3 books, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not that invested. Like, am I just like not, no, that's a lie. Like I love thrillers, but I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. But like, I wanted to know what was going on, but again, same thing with Mother Daughter Murder Night. It just felt like it got too much. Like there was too much happening. And not that it was not easy to follow, it was just complex for no reason. It could have been less complex. But this one kind of delves a bit into horror, but it's more of like psychological horror, I guess. This was fine, 3.25, 3.5 because of the father-son thing, but other than that, it was like a decent read. It did get me kind of into spooky mood because I'm like trying to figure out like the Whisper Man and like he whispers in kids' ears and stuff like that, but overall, decent. Ooh. Anyways. Okay, this next book that I read, this is my favorite book that I read in October. And I'm so happy I read it because it's one of those books where I was like, this sounds so good, but like I wasn't that excited about it. But it is called The Second Chance Here. And it is about this woman, forgot her name, don't ask, you can look it up. And what does she do? What does she work again? Is she a chef? I think she like cooking, something in the cooking area. Or maybe that's the book I'm reading now. I don't know. Anyway, this woman, she goes to this New Year's party. She like sees this gypsy. Basically her life is like a mess. Like things are happening. Oh, she's a chef. Or like baking, she bakes. And then she like makes this wish for this gypsy. And then she's like, I wish I can get a second chance here. So she wakes up and it's a year before. And like she's with her ex who she's broken up with. And like things are back very, very different. And then, like what's going on with my head? Pretty much, that's the premise of the book. She goes, oh wait, no. She kisses her brother's best friend on New Year's, and then it goes a year back. Right, that's what happens. And then it's the whole year again. I loved it. Just, anyways, synopsis is messy, but I love the book. I read it like in a day, I think, or 2 days on my iPad. It was just so good. And I love that it was a bit women's fiction, but also romance. And I don't know, it was one of those books where I was like, it has been done before a lot, like the time travel trope, and a lot of people don't like it, but I love it because it gets to like rediscover like who they were and like who they're becoming and like what to change in life. And it's like so overdone, but this one just felt really fresh. And the romance in this book is so good. And like, I love that it didn't rely on like steam. Like it's clean, I would say, maybe like make out scene or two. It doesn't rely on a lot on like the sex or whatever, but just on the emotional connection that people have with each other, which I love to read. So this was great. And it's like, I don't know if I call it like a Christmas read, but like kind of like New Year's, Christmas. Definitely pick it up if you love like second chance. No, it's not a second chance book. If you love like the brother's best friend trope, I know it's like one of those iffy ones, but this was really well done. And if you love like just heartwarming reads, there's a lot of trigger warnings in this book. Not a lot, but there are some. So definitely look at those before reading. But it was just great. I think I cried a little. It was amazing. Pick it up. This is the next book that I think I'm cheating with because technically I started it in October, but I finished it like November. So I think I'm gonna count it anyway. Like it was part of my November/December like Christmas TBR, which stay tuned is coming. But I finished it a couple days ago and I think I'm just gonna add it to my October TBR. Anyways, The Christmas Wager by Holiday, no, her name's not Holiday, Holly Cassidy. And this author, actually, this is her first romance. She writes thrillers under Hannah Mary McKinnon, and she's the sweetest human being ever. Like I've chatted with her on Instagram and she's lovely. Her thrillers are amazing. They're very feminist and it's just like dark humor kind of. So if you love those, definitely check those out. But this is her first romance and it is about this woman who works as like a developer for this big company and she's moving to she's going to a small town to try and get this like Christmas shop that's like all worn out and like isn't making any money. And she thinks it's gonna be like an in and out thing. She's gonna get it in like a day and then fly back. But then she meets this guy what's his name? Jesse. I don't even, what's her name? Bella. But who like won't let his grandpa sell the shop because he wants the shop. Basically, there's this wager that goes on and where she's like, well, if I win, wait, let me preface. There's this whole holiday thing that goes on every Christmas where they compete in a bunch of games to like win. And they like form this wager where they're like, okay, well, if he wins, then he'll keep the shop or something. But like if she wins, she'll take it. There's a wager. So we already know it's enemies to lovers, which we love. And then stuff starts to happen. Like they start to like get feelings for each other. And you know, it's basically a Hallmark romance, right? But in the form of a book. It's clean and it's not, oh shoot, I didn't give my review for the other book. 4 stars for the second chance year. And yeah, they start to like compete and stuff and like it's fun. Again, I don't know what's going on, but a lot of these reads have been like, I don't want to say flops, but they've just been like mid or like mediocre. So this was a 3-star for me. I love Hallmark movies. I love a good cheesy Hallmark movie. Like give me all the cheesy romance. But this one, I felt like it was focusing a lot kind of on the games and not enough with the romance. Like there was still a lot of romance in it, but I just like, not that I didn't care about the games, like the games are fun. Like I loved like how creative she was with her games, but I kind of wanted more like dialogue and romance, which it did have a bit of dialogue, but not as much as I like in romance. Personally, I prefer dialogue over like description. So if a book is like 85% dialogue, easy 4-star for me. Well, it has to be good dialogue, it can't be cringy. That's disgusting. This was 3.25 stars. Definitely like a fun book to get you in the Hallmark Christmas movie mood, but it just wasn't what I expected. But I did like it. And there's that. That is all the books I read in October. 5 books overall, a lot of 3 stars, 1 4-star, which is not that bad. It's not. Like I could be reading 2-star books, but I'm not, and I'm grateful. And this is like not related to this video at all. But I went thrifting today and I got 2 books, which I did preface in my other video that I will be buying books. So this was coming along, but I only bought 2. So instead of like 8 or 6. So this is not bad. And this is happening at the end of the video, just so people don't attack me. Like no one's gonna attack me. The first book I bought is called The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. Beth O'Leary, if you haven't read her books and you love romance, what are you doing with your life? Like, just don't talk to me. No, I'm kidding. But like, her books are great and her books are clean and they just are so good. My favorite is The No-Show, but she has a new one coming out it already came out and I'm planning to read it soon. It's like part of my Christmas TBR, but I'm looking at it right now and I don't know how I'm gonna make room for all these books. I don't know if I'm gonna have time, but I'll figure it out. Anyways, Road Trip. It's about these like 2 people who like go on a road trip together. Something's happening. There's like history. I don't really care. I want it. I just bought it. But yeah, Road Trip. Beth O'Leary. Next book. This one is like one of these books where like in my head, like I want it. So I just saw the cover and I knew it was that one, so I picked it up. But like I knew it was about like mother-daughter relationships. So this cover, like look at that. It's called Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi. And I love this cover. It's really short, it's like 200 words. It's 200 pages. And it's about this like, let me read the description. A literary debut novel set in India about mothers and daughters, obsession and betrayal. And honestly, that's all I need to know. Because if it's one thing I love, it's a mother-daughter relationship. Especially like a complex one. Like when are they never complex? But like, I cannot wait to read this. It's gonna be like a short read. And it's a good way to get me into literary fiction. And also I feel like I need to read more diverse authors. So this is definitely something I am looking forward to reading. But yeah, these are the 2 books I bought. These are the 5 books I read in October. Now it just looks like a really big reading month. So I'm just gonna put them together to make it seem like it is. But yeah, that's it. And like I said, stay tuned because there is a Christmas TBR video coming up soon. I don't know when, but it's coming. I have to film it. But yeah, that was dramatic. Did not need to do that. But yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know what books you read in October that you liked. If you haven't, that's okay. Just keep watching, I guess. And have a good day. Bye.